All right, a long time ago, there was a fragrance by this brand that I absolutely loved, and it was discontinued. I'm hoping that my prayers were answered, and this fragrance here will be the option or alternative to that fragrance. If you guys want to know all about the brand new Ormonde Jayne Vetiveria, stick around, the video's up next. Welcome back to another video. Forti here. If you do love to make a great and lasting impression, smelling good is a great way to start. And we're going to talk about a fragrance here that perhaps is the alternative or the answer to a long discontinued fragrance that I love from this brand called Zizan. Now, Zizan, this is my second bottle. I absolutely love. For many years, I actually wore this as a signature scent. And this is basically a vetiver-based scent with a heavy bergamot sparkly opening. This is a fragrance that if you can try it, if you can manage to smell it, you're gonna know, or if you have tried it before, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. So the newest Vetiveria, looking at the note breakdown, it is kind of similar to what the Zizan was. So I'm very hopeful to this one. Starting off with the presentation here, you know, Ormonde Jayne has a gorgeous presentation here. The bottles come in this orange packaging, which is almost linen with a magnetic a fixture here at the base, which you can close the box and your fragrance sits there perfectly. As you can see right here, there's actually a sleeve, which will take it off. That's that linen part that I talked about. And you have this linen box, which has the Ormonde Jayne and London logo in gold. You have the fixture here, which is going to be magnetic. You have the card here, which is also gorgeous, giving you information about the fragrance. And again, the fragrance sits perfectly in the middle, you know, which is just like a resting place for the fragrance to stay. If you want to store it away from sunlight and whatnot, you can definitely do that with these boxes. They're made to perfection here. Now, the bottle itself is going to have, before we talk about the bottle, let's talk about price point. So of course, Vetiveria is going to be available at the Ormonde Jayne website or authorized points of sales or boutiques, you know, niche boutiques that carry Ormonde Jayne in particular. This is an eau de parfum concentration. The bottle looks absolutely gorgeous. You have the heavy metal cap. And the bottle is green. It's going to be gradient from darker green to a lighter green. It's almost like this baccarat crystal, really nice cut crystal, beautiful with the gold appointments and embellishments. At the base here, this is an 88 mil, 3 ounce, 90 mil, 88 mil, 3 ounce eau de parfum concentration bottle. You have your batch here, which matches the actual bottom of the sleeve itself. And the sprayers are actually amazing. You can actually control it depending on how hard you push and release the atomizer. The retail for this 88 mil or 3 ounce bottle is $245 USD. Again, available only in one size. Now, right now, the room smells like $1 million. The vetiver here is just amazing. It's definitely the star player of the composition. You get all the nuances of the vetiver. You get a little bit of the smokiness, you get fruitiness, you get woodiness, you get the green grass, fresh cut grass feel to it. So it captures all the embellishments and nuances of the profile of vetiver to the T, guys. The opening here is amazing. I don't know whether or not this is going to be a linear. I don't think it's going to be a linear scent because looking at the note breakdown, it has quite a bit of notes to talk about. It also has a juniper note here, which adds this coniferous kind of a feel to the fragrance. I believe there's sage and lavender, so it's a very coniferous, green, and aromatic type of a scent. Anybody that likes and enjoys this profile will love this fragrance, although I think this leans a little bit more masculine. It's very assertive. It's one of those fragrances that I love. We're gonna take it on the test strip here. I'm actually gonna spray my hand as well so we can get a little bit of a development with this fragrance, which is what we do here with these unboxing first impression videos. It's quite concentrated. Again, it's an eau de parfum concentration. And as I said before, the opening here is absolutely amazing. It smells like $1 million. This is a fragrance that I would consider, you know, a great vetiver-based scent. If you love vetivers like myself, and every year I do a holy grail, my top vetivers at this time, every year you guys get a list like that, or every other year for that matter. So vetiver, and behind me I have a whole set of vetiver fragrances that are, you know, from lighter vetiver scents that are just fresh out of the shower type of vetiver scents to harder, darker, smokier, you know, holy grail type of vetiver scents. This here is going to be a vetiver that I would qualify or classify, if you will, a luxury vetiver. This is going to be a top echelon, high tier vetiver fragrance. Absolutely phenomenal. It's very sparkly up top. It's going to be quite citrus, which is very similar to the Ormonde Jayne Zizan. And it doesn't have as the smokier facets and darker woods that I got with Zizan. This here leans a little bit fresher, which is nice, or I should say more modernized. So I think a lady would enjoy this one. Even someone younger would enjoy this one. This is not a hard to wear vetiver, because we all know sometimes vetivers can have an inky vibe. Encre Noir comes to mind. This one doesn't have that at all. It's actually give you a little bit of a smokiness, but it's very fruity, very sparkly, very effervescent, quite pleasant. The fruitiness that you get here are coming from the lime or bergamots, as well as some lemons and some mandarin oranges. So it's quite citrus. And again, it's going to be citrus, fruity, and aromatic on the account of those notes that we talked about before, the sage, the lavender. It's going to be green, aromatic. You know, this is not pungent at all. It's a very well constructed, very well balanced, very elegant, very sophisticated type of vetiver that I'm hard pressed to say that, you know, I think everyone will enjoy this. I think even a lady will enjoy this one because there's nothing here that's harsh or hard to wear. There's nothing here that's too dark or too smoky. I know vetiver sometimes can be tricky. I find vetiver to be a great note. I always said this to you guys, you know, time and time again. And on skin, to be honest with you, that fruitiness from the limes, the bergamots, and the mandarin is even popping even more. You're getting almost like a candied citrus kind of a vibe here on skin that you don't get with the paint on the blotter. So quite nice. You know, of course, I'm going to pause the video in a few minutes to give it some, you know, 20-25 minutes development just to tell you guys what I get more out of this fragrance, which, you know, it's going to be a second to you guys, but it'll be a few minutes for me. I'm going to tell you guys about more on this fragrance. In the base, you have tonka beans, moss, rose, and of course, tons of vetiver. So let me pause the video here right now. I'll come back in a few minutes, 20-25 minutes, and give you guys a little bit of the heart and development that I get on my skin. So stick around. All right, before I tell you guys what I get on my skin here, I'm actually going to spray Zizan on the tester strip here just to see how it compares to the Vetiveria, you know, as I said before, without smelling it and reminding myself. Okay, so Zizan is a lot more pungent. You have a gorgeous vetiver note here that's almost boozy, almost get like a rum note up top. The bergamots here are incredible. It's very sparkly, very fizzy, very fruity, but it's a little bit more pungent, a little bit earthier, and slightly more smoky than you get with Vetiveria. Again, Vetiveria is going to be something that's a little bit more modern, a little bit more chic, and definitely androgynous. I think anybody can rock this fragrance, a guy or a gal. And I go as far as saying that even a younger person would enjoy this fragrance because it's that enjoyable, almost reaching that universal appeal kind of a vibe here. So let me check my hand here. So on my hand, the fragrance became quite subtle, quite smooth, quite creamy as well. You know, sandalwood's not a note, but you do have tonka beans, you do have the moss. So the greenness of the fragrance with the vetiver, the earthy notes, the fruity accord, it's going to be here for the whole life of the fragrance. There is a rose note here that gives the fragrance a slightly floral and creamy accord that's, again, very androgynous. The rose here, it's almost like a green rose, more like the thorns and the stem of the rose rather than the rose itself, but it's definitely here. Add in this nice, subtle, smooth, creamy, floral kind of nuance to the fragrance, which kind of balances everything out and gives the fragrance dimension, texture, and definitely the edge to make this a smooth and unique vetiver type scent. In the account of the floral accord that I talked about, besides that rose, you also have a jasmine note here that acts almost like a tea, a jasmine tea kind of a vibe. It's not going to be indolic, harsh, animalic whatsoever. It's rather a very smooth, calm, almost like a chamomile / jasmine tea kind of a vibe. Again, very wearable, really nice. I'm thinking performance here from what I'm getting so far here within my area, and as I'm wearing this fragrance here for a few minutes as I'm filming this video, I'm thinking this is going to be 8+, and if you spray your clothes, you'll get 10+, which is the norm of what I get with most Ormonde Jayne fragrances, with the exception of the 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 collection, which some of those, like Grail, for example, I get 12 to 14 hours, and if I spray my clothes 10 times, the smell is there the next day. So this one here is going to be a little bit more tamed, a little smoother, but I think 8 to 10 hours is definitely what we're looking here. This is quite nice as well. And again, the smell itself is going to be amazing. With that juniper berry here, it almost gives you a gin and tonic kind of a vibe here. There's a drink from Grail called 𝗬𝗙, which has got this cachaça white rum with the limes. And this is kind of like what I'm getting here. This is quite nice, guys. In fact, you know what? I'm going to rock this all day today. It's going to be my scent of the day. You know, but this is really nice. This is going to be a fragrance that's definitely going to elevate your style, give you a really nice presence. Right now, the whole room smells like it. And I believe there's some fixatives here, such as ambroxan, maybe 𝐈𝐳𝐲. I feel that there are definitely good fixatives here that will make the fragrance really warm and, you know, give you longevity and performance. So as I said, with Ormonde Jayne fragrances, there's usually never a problem. I do get an ambery, especially as I spray my whole self right now, I get an ambery ambroxan slash 𝐈𝐳𝐲 kind of a vibe here. Like I said, I do believe there's some fixatives here that will give the fragrance longevity, warmth, to the woodiness that it has. Guys, this is a good one. Definitely gets a thumbs up. Definitely worth checking out. If you guys want to try this fragrance before you commit to a full bottle, you know where you can head over. You can head over to perfume.com, check yourself a decan, wear the fragrance on the skin, make sure you love it before you commit to a full bottle. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. If you guys do enjoy the channel, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more. If you haven't already, hit the bell, turn on your noties, so you guys are always in the know of everything fragrance news and fragrance related content. Guys, thank you so much for your support. I will catch you here in the next video very soon. Take care.